Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I'm going to make some Christmas tree decorations using the jig. This was inspired by last week's Tip Tuesday tutorial. I'll link it up below. To make the tree that's similar to the one I did on the Tip Tuesday tutorial, I set it up like this, and I have about 24 inches of aluminum wire. And to start, you want to get the center point, so just bend it in half like that, and then stick it on here, pinch it in a bit, smooth it down, give it a good little tug, and hold it here and bring it in, tug it as you go, jump over that peg and bring it down again, give it a good little tug, and then wind it around the larger peg a couple of times. So that's our first side. And then here, give it a tug, bring it down here, give it another tug, pull it down, and go around this one a couple of times. This is very soft wire, it's aluminum. So bring that one down here. Don't worry if it's a little warbly, because we're going to remove it now. And we want to cut these in the same position. So I'm just going to cut this one here and that one there. And if we want to sharpen up our angles, just get your flat pliers in there and give it a little pinch, and it'll flatten it out a little more. Here too, if you want sharper angles, just go to either side of that bend, close to the bend, bring it in and sharpen them up. And then here you can straighten out the sides. Now you'll take the end with your round pliers and just rotate it in to close the loop, and then I just take this and bring it in. I usually do these on a cone, but you can use the peg in the jig kit to do the same thing. And then over here, separate them a bit, bring that one in. If you have too much wire, you can trim it. Just bring this flick of the wrist, bring it in like that. And you can adjust these spirals as you need. If you want the tree wider, just adjust the pegs as you like. And these two, you're going to want to make this a sharper bend. You can bring it in a little bit if you need. And then these will line up like that. I have some 22 gauge wire. It's nice and soft. I would cut 3 to 4 feet of wire. If you run out, you can add wire. Basically what you'll do is you'll get your bead, like I did in the previous tutorial, put it on there, and wind the wire around. Place this on your tree and just wind the wire around here. You can do 2 or 3 times. This end you're going to clip, and then you're going to wind it around here. Leave this open so you can wind it through, bring it to the front, and then we're going to add more beads. You can do some small beads. This is 4 millimeter. Hold it where you want it positioned and wind the wire around. And then you could kind of bring it around that way. Push it to hold it in place. Here's a 6 millimeter faceted bead. And again, wind the wire around to hold it in place. And around here. Keep adding beads back and forth until you get to the bottom. So when you get to the bottom, I just put another little bead in there. I'm going to line up these wires and twist this around a few times. And then we'll clip it, and you can pinch that in place. At the top you can put a star bead, or you can put any bead you want. So I'm just going to turn this around, place it on here, close it up. I'm going to put a heart bead on top, so we'll just stick that one in here. I'm going to bend it perpendicular, get our large pliers to make a loop to put a ribbon, bring it around. If the bead flips around, just flip it here, take your wire across the back and wind it around the bottom. Clip it, and that will prevent your bead from flipping. And there you have your super cute little Christmas tree. For the Christmas tree with the jig, we're using the Artistic Wire Deluxe Jig Kit. You can take a screenshot of the configuration, or I'll link up the template in the description of the video. I have my tools, I have a variety of beads. I'm using 16 gauge wire for the outside, and I have 20 gauge to attach the beads. I'll show you the difference between the wires. This is aluminum wire, it's quite soft, so we're going to find the middle point of the wire. You can also use your flat pliers to bend it, and we'll stick this on the jig, hold it with your one finger there, and then bring this and hop over the peg and then pull it back and give it a little tug. Now pull it over and back. Again, give it a little tug, pull it out, and then this way and down. I cut more wire than I need. I cut 18 inches. We're going to do the same on this side, where we're going to take this and give it a good little tug and back, pull it and back and pull it and back. And you'll see how soft the aluminum wire is, but it looks really pretty. This is the copper wire. I'm going to use my pliers to bend it at the halfway point. It's a little stiffer. Stick it on here, hold it so it won't slip, and then bring it back, kind of pulling it and pushing it with my thumb as well. Bring it back, give it a little bit of a wiggle if you have to, and push it against the peg and then down. It's one side. You'll see this wire is a lot stiffer than the aluminum. So now we're going to bring that one, push it against the peg and back, push it out and back, and push it against that peg. So you can keep the wires very loose like that. And if you want the corners to be sharper, just go in with your flat pliers, give it a little bit of a bend to one side of the bend and in there, and then bring it back. And that's one way to sharpen those corners. There's different ways you can finish the bottom. We can just bend these ends out on an angle. I'll just hold that there and I'm going to twist. And from there you can do a little spiral. Just go around a few times. And then over here, you can go around a few times. Clip the ends. Take the end with your round pliers and just flick of the wrist, bring it in. This is how I did the one on the other video. And then this one too. I'm going to take the end and just turn it in there. And then you can take your flat pliers and push the spirals down. And that looks really cute with the twist and the spiral. And if you want, you can fill it in with beads. So for the trunk, I'm going to put a seed bead on a piece of 24 gauge wire. Put this in between the two long wires and weave it in. So we're going to wind this on the one side and then wind this on the other side and up through again, and this one up through again. Just going to keep this to the back and this one to the back. I want to wind this to the front So I have one wire across the back, and then to put the bead on, I want the wire to be at the front. So now we're going to put another bead, stick that in there, and wind it around again. And over to the other side, give it a couple of winds, and then put another bead. And just put as many as you want for the trunk. I think I'm only going to put 3. So I'm going to bring that to the back. My wire is way too long. And clip it. This one you could continue. You could have continued it up to add your other beads, but I'm just going to clip it off and use a larger wire for that. So actually I'm going to bring it over to this side to secure that one in place. Bring it around a couple of times so that's nice and secure, and clip it. Pinch that. And then just pull these down so the bottom row is at the same level. We can just take this end and bend it across. And then this one too, we're just going to bend it across. And then you can just clip that end. We can just clip the end. So I just cut them flush, and it's going to be an ornament, so it doesn't really matter if they're a little bit scratchy. So to attach the beads, we'll get our 20 gauge wire, and as in my previous video, I'm just going to put the beads on, wind this around so that will hold it in place, position it on your tree wherever you like, and then we're just going to wind this around a couple of times. Bring it to the front. You can put another bead in there. This one's a 6 millimeter. And then I'm going to wind it around the other way. And then just turn this one around here. You can fill this in any way you like. Here's a 6 millimeter miracle bead. And hold this in the position you want and just wind it around. And then you could bring it around the bottom and just keep going until it's all filled out. From here you can clip off the end at the bottom. So I ended up cutting those ends in the center flush so they actually connect together. I finished with the wire on the front, and I'm going to string the star button through. So what I'll do is I'm going to actually put the wire into the front of the button, slide it in, and then I'll curve this around and go back through to the front. Now hold the wire, hold the button, and just give it a good little tug so it'll stay in place. And then just arrange this on the top of the tree, and then if you want to hang it, we can make a loop out of that. You can just simply cut it to about a 1/2 inch or so and take your round pliers and just do a loop so you can hang it up. And there's your beautiful beaded Christmas tree made with the jig. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.